This nigga Naeem set black people back about 10 years with this story that he told. And so it's story number 2. So it's at 20 minutes exactly. Exactly at 20 minutes. As soon as I heard the story, the first thing I thought, I was like, not Naeem. I this is not Naeem. No, hell no. It can't be him. Because this is not, no, hell no. As a black person, nigga, this better never be your story. And sure enough, it's his. I'm spoiling it. But the point is, I want y'all to hear this nasty ass story. This is the worst story I've ever heard, I think. All right, so yeah, so this is a nasty
story number 2.
Sledgehammer.
Story number 2. A girl I was having sex with had a huge booger in her nose. She leaned down and kissed me, and I looked up and the booger was gone. Then...
All right away.
I'm like, not Naeem. I say, nope, not Naeem. This is not a grown black person story. Fuck no. Hell. Did you just hear that? Go ahead.
Look, I want to point out, look at how everybody is looking down at the table except for Naeem.
Except for Naeem. He's like, I
wonder who this could be.
Hey,
he's reliving it. He's reliving it. Yeah. He's looking up into the booger again, trying to.
That's good body. That's good body language, jargon right there. You know, you can really like this. Is how I be trying to figure out whose story it is too. But this shit caught me completely off guard because I'm like, dude, I've never met anybody with this story. Never. I've never even heard anything like this. It's so simple, but it's disgusting.
Even Rich Voss he did crack. He's trying to figure out how this could be a fucking possibility.
Right. Like, what did you just say? Anyways, go ahead.
Then I licked my lips and realized it was in my mouth.
Bro.
I think Berg figured it out right away.
Oh, no. They all figured it out, which made me so much madder. It made me so much more mad. Because they're like, listen, it's not a racial thing, I promise, but I feel like this is Naeem. I'm like, fuck no. I'm like, no, hell. I'm like, no. Hell. And granted, Naeem started having sex really early. So he said this happened when he was like 13 or 14. He literally lost his virginity when he was like 12 or something like that. You know, so that's the only way this story can make sense. You know, he's like, this is why kids shouldn't be having sex, because it was like a 14-year-old girl. I was 13 or something like that. I think he said he was 12 and the girl was 14. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's the only thing that excuse it. But I'm like, bro, you just set us back 100 years with this. You just set us back 100 years. You put out a story of 2 black people having nasty ape sex and boogers just flying everywhere. And I don't know. Look, I'm telling you what it sounds like. So you are laying it up at the rim. And so I guess from a comedy standpoint, it's the right story. You know what I mean? But god damn, I was like, dude, this nigga Naeem's just set us all the way back with this one, dog. That's crazy.
What is their end goal with this show? Do you think they're like I guess Diddy's gone, but do you think they were gonna do like a Masked Singer type of thing where they eventually get to NBC and like Nick Cannon hosts, and then Big J,
and then they gotta like figure out whose story is which and who's who. You know what? I personally think that's obviously their goal. Right away when I saw this, my first thought was this is an easy board game. And I think they if they're smart, they've already patented it and getting it ready. But I'm like, oh, this is an easy board game. All you have to do is like get some notes, like, hey, I'm gonna sell a sticky pad. I'm gonna sell a sticky pad with a 1 sheet of instructions and some quarter length pencils, and call it Story Warz, new board game. If I was Lewis, I would be working on that right now. Absolutely.
A Story Warz app.
Right. I guess that is how they do these type of board games now, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like so yeah, it could be an app or a board. Something like that is I think the highest potential for something like this. It if they keep it going, I don't think it'll work with them though. Like I'm this is my favorite show comedically and one of my favorite group of people to watch. But I don't think that Lewis and Jay are successful faces. Let's be real. You know, they're Jay can only go so long without talking about corn. Lewis can only go so long without, you know what I mean? It's like they have, you know, unsuccessful Tourette's. You know, they have self-sabotaging Tourette's. I think that's the perfect way to say it. They have self-sabotaging Tourette's. And so while this is the perfect idea, I'm like, listen, I'm going to steal this from them. I'm going to steal it because if they don't make it big, somebody should. Because yes, this is a game, like a TV, you know, a talk show type of game that if Steve Harvey was hosting or something like that, I could watch every week. You know what I mean? To have different, you know, people, interesting people on there to give, like, it just, there's a premise that gives you context to want to watch. All right, I digress.